Hello students, we're going to unpack the Migrant Media Multimodal Script Exemplar so that you understand what it is that you need to do in order to successfully complete this task. Your presentation must be proving a thesis, so you need to understand what a thesis statement is, ensuring that it is the basis of your introductory paragraph and what your angle is that you are proving throughout the entire piece. A thesis statement shouldn't be an open-ended question. It needs to be one idea, not multiple threads nor contradicting information. In constructing a thesis statement, it's important that you use the simple formula of topic and opinion equals your thesis statement. So for example, humour and satire successfully present serious societal issues such as migration. Here, the opinion word is successfully and the topic is humour and satire and migration. So that is in response to what your task question is. Anytime that you have to construct a thesis, you must have an opinionative word. So you could use successfully, skillfully, effectively, etc. There's lots of choices. Vary it up to maintain listener interest. It's important that you know exactly what you are analysing and how that particular technique or device will help raise awareness about migration or whatever your angle is. That could be asylum seekers or refugees, etc. So think about the question, what does the audience learn? Consider if it inspires change. So through the use of irony, how has that changed behaviour? Or if you're looking at political cartoons, it might be how does it appeal to the audience? What does the audience learn about migration that they didn't know or consider before? And how is this achieved through the use of a particular technique? You need to comment on the effect of the device and how it has resulted in the audience considering that particular issue in a different light. If we have a look at an example of the introduction here, you'll notice that your structure is that you must start with a hook or an engaging opener, a general statement, comment about satire and its purpose, a thesis, and you need to introduce your issue and what will be explored in the presentation. So we've got an example written here that relates to the exact topic. What you need to note about the structure here, so the yellow box is quite important. If the hook statement, which we've got here, is about satire, then you're going to go to C, which is the purple section, before you do the general statement about migration, which is the blue section. We're doing that to create cohesion. So it's important that your particular introduction, it flows cohesively. So you need to sequence your ideas in the most logical order. That's the same as with the second half of the introduction here. We've introduced the issue before we've linked it with our thesis statement. So these are interchangeable. As long as you've got all of the elements there, you need to include them in a way that is going to be the most cohesive for your audience to understand what it is that you are speaking about. So if we have a look now at a body paragraph, we've got our teal structure, which we're well aware of, and you can see that the example here has been written for unpolished gem. In regards to formatting requirements, anytime that you reference the name of a text, it needs to be in italics. You need to reference your particular examples with author, comma, year that the particular text was produced. You can see here that connectives, have been used to create cohesion. Things like therefore is a concluding connective. Things like in addition or as a result, consequently, etc. are used. Make sure that you refer back to your Evaluate Blue Book handout from your explicit thinking skills lesson. Please note that this is body paragraph 2, as indicated by the introduction. So whatever order you preview your arguments in the introduction that we just read, it was Ando first, followed by Alice Pung, and then the political cartoon. That's the order that your body paragraphs need to be organized in. So again, another element in creating cohesion. That same structure needs to be replicated for body paragraph 2 and 3, remembering that body paragraph 1 and 2 need to link to the next text, whereas body paragraph 3, and also your thesis, only needs to link to the thesis because there's no additional text that is going to be studied. Ensure that these linking sentences are correct to, again, create cohesion. We don't have a stagnant or disjointed argument. It is cohesive. It is all working towards proving your angle. Your conclusion matters, okay? It's just as important as any other paragraph. It is not just one sentence. It's a minimum of 3. I liken it to a burger bun, this particular task. So an introduction is the top of the bun. The conclusion is the bottom of the bun. The thesis is the sauce, okay? We like a burger to be saucy, but that needs to be intertwined throughout every layer. You don't want to feel ripped off that you don't have sauce in a particular part of your burger. So it's important that you take as much time in constructing this conclusion as you have any other part. With the conclusion structure, you need to restate your thesis, summarize how the authors have represented the migrant experience, and then make a final point about the function of satire in society. It might be a thought-provoking statement also. So you can see the example that has been put here. You'll notice that there's some blanks here for whatever the other devices are. So the creators of these texts have cleverly embedded techniques such as irony, which was the unpolished gem example, this and that, to highlight the audience's positive effects that migration can have on those who have a skewed or narrow view on these issues. You must avoid statements like "this essay has discussed" or "my 3 arguments that prove this were" or "I think." It is a formal piece. You need to be persuasive and use high modality and avoid personal pronouns such as I, me, and my. It should be written all in third person the whole way through. This final point here should tie back to your hook from your intro, okay? So we can see the link from the first sentence in your particular presentation the whole way through to the last sentence here. It's not disjointed. You don't have a hook that's about migration and then a concluding sentence about satire. They should be logically sequenced and relate to each other. Take care in constructing the conclusion. It's really important. Holistically, make sure that you proofread your work. Your script is important in ensuring that you maintain your tense the whole way through and that you are using persuasive language and high modality. You are the expert on the issue. Whichever way that you are arguing, if it is effective or not effective, it needs to be consistent throughout. So just make sure that you check carefully that you are always arguing the same point of view. Ensure that you get your completed draft in on time and seek teacher feedback during lunchtimes or tutorials. Good luck.